Hi, lovelies. Hi, lovelies. You guys, I know we're doing it backwards this week. The free weekly's coming out on Tuesday. I posted a regular pull a card on Monday. When I tell you that life is chaotic this week, I cannot be the only one feeling that. Okay. So thank you guys for understanding. Thank you for your patience with me as I got this out to you guys. Also just want to show you my badass fucking shirt that I got from my friend Jen, Moonlight Mystic. She's a fantastic psychic medium. And I just fucking love this shirt. It's Sasquatch riding a reindeer with a UFO joining in. So try not to be jealous of my shirt. This is my friend group. Yay! This is what we're working with. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah Martucci. I'm a psychic medium, certified crystal healer, and a paranormal investigator. So come the fuck on in if you guys are into that, okay? I do cuss here. I got lots of feelings. I've got lots of opinions. I also love to pull you guys cards and just talk about, like, especially with the free weekly, we talk about the astrology of the week, then we move into the pull of cards. This week we're going to keep it short. I want to talk to you guys about a couple things this week, and then we'll move. I think I'm just going to do one pull a card, for each of the groups. You get to choose 1, 2, or 3. Choose any, choose all, doesn't fucking matter. Choose whatever makes your booty scooty. Okay? So it's making your booty tingle. Fucking choose those cards, okay? With that being said, let's get into some of the astrofuckery this week. And I just kind of want to discuss with you guys some of the crazy stuff that's going on for me too. So hopefully you guys don't feel alone. All right. So with that being said, holy shit, today it's Gemini season. Get ready to get nerdy. All right. So I just feel like Gemini season when it comes around. I love Gemini season. I know a lot of Geminis, so a lot of people's birthdays are right now. I'm blessed with the Geminis in my life because I got some really fucking excellent ones. I've been big time blessed. So I love Gemini season, but this is the season to get nerdy. This is the season where we're probably going to talk more with our cousins, our siblings. There might even be a callback to home here in some type of way, okay? And so we might be reflecting on home, reflecting on the past. Things coming up whenever, it's Gemini season. Also, too, I warn you guys every single Gemini season, do not motherfucking gossip right now. You'd be a dumb bubblegum to do so, okay? That will come back to bite you in the beehole. And I don't think we got time or space or energy for that, okay? We've been going through all our undies, letting our butthole eat our underwear, being brave. So we don't have extra undies for that, guys, okay? We're not going to do that. All right. So just be careful who you're sharing information with. Make sure that it's right, it's real, it's true. And then if you are going to gossip, make sure you do it with somebody where it stops at the door. May I suggest a Virgo vault? Every single Virgo I know is a vault. Okay. Like you would think it would be Scorpios, and Scorpios are definitely, listen, they hold all the secrets too, but Virgo's very good about holding other people's secrets. Okay. Not always. That's not across the board, but almost every single Virgo and Virgo placement I know is like the holder of secrets. Okay. So might I interest you in a Virgo? Okay. All right. That is also happens to be ruled by Mercury. All right. So all that to say, don't be a dumb bubblegum. Make sure if we're passing on information, it's correct, right, real, and true, especially if we're talking about the things that are happening within our government. This is notoriously, when it's Gemini season, it's going to be a time frame where just lots of bullshit's coming out. So we also need to kind of tease out what's right, what's real, what's true. If you guys don't mind, I want to kind of expand on some of the stuff going to the past and how that links with some of the astrology this week. Because not only is it Gemini season, but come Saturday, I'm pretty sure it's Saturday, forgive me, I'll put it in the description box about when the fuck it's happening just in case. Sometimes I just have like a brain fart when I'm doing these, okay? I start to get into it. But this Saturday, Saturn moves into Aries. This is a big fucking deal. Saturn is a very slow moving planet. Aries likes to move. They say, okay, the ancients, if you will, say that, Saturn or Aries is in its fall Saturn's in its fall in the sign of Aries. Because of that mismatch of energy, Saturn takes time. It builds things. It refers to the past. It has to go to the past to know what the fuck we're dealing with. What is the history here? So we know what the fuck we're building now. And so in the sign of Aries, this is probably going to be bringing up a lot of like personal things that have happened to us in the past. Aries stands for the self. Okay. And so, what things did I learn? How did I grow? Maybe what difficult lessons did I have to face where there was issues around patience or issues around my selfhood and who the fuck I am. So there's going to be some interesting stuff. And I think people are already feeling that. The reason I say that is because I think it was last week that started, within the African American community. I guess somebody there, I know that there was a Black lady that, I can't remember the name of the person that did it. Forgive me. Okay. But she said essentially she read up on the history of people with red hair in this country, and some of the difficult things that they've been through. And it just started this whole cascade. That's why last week I was telling you guys, check on Ginger Talk. So if you're not on TikTok watching this, you can go into any of the other, cause I'm on multiple platforms. You could just put in like Ginger or Ginger, okay, with an A, and you'll see all the stuff that's coming up about it. It's been absolutely beautiful. And before anybody comes at me and says, Sarah, you don't have red hair, your hair is too dark. We're going to pause it here for a second, and I'm going to show you, I think it was 2nd or 3rd grade, okay? Red hair, buck teeth, freckles. Let's just preface it with that. Let me show you guys that picture. Didn't have a chance, did I? Okay. Growing up, unfortunately, I dealt with a lot of bullying for multiple different reasons. I was a weird kid. I was in a Catholic school. I'm sitting here telling people like their loved ones are coming through or predicting things for them. Yikes. But when I was younger, my hair was a lot brighter red, and I have freckles. I mean, you guys can see I'm just covered in freckles. And so one of the more difficult things that happened when I was younger, people used to make fun of me for my hair color and my freckles. And God, this is terrible. One of the kids, my maiden name is Kelly. So when I was a little kid, I guess I was getting bullied for my hair and my freckles and my buck teeth. And one of the kids was saying, about my skin, it looked like somebody sharded on me, essentially. Do you know what I mean? Feel free to laugh. It's okay. But like, oh my God. And my last name was Kelly. So they turned it to Smelly. So Sarah Smelly. It was rough. Not going to lie to you guys. I did not want to be here. Like the bullying was so atrocious. And that was one of the more difficult things. And so growing up, hating the way that you look and hating your skin, hating your hair color, like I'm sure most of you guys know that, like, or maybe you don't, but there's a kick a redhead day. It was really fucking bad growing up. And I just didn't want to be, it got to the point where so bad where I was being made fun of for my skin and my hair, sorry guys, it's a little rough, okay? But like, I promise it's leading to something good. But at one point I felt so terrible about myself and my skin and everything that I convinced myself that my skin was a map of the sky instead of shit. So, it was weird very much growing up, people hating on that, hating on my hair color, hating on the way I looked, my freckles, everything, to whenever I got a little bit older, it being absolutely sexualized. Remember the first time I heard, does the carpet match the drapes, when I was 11 years old. So, and just all the difficulty that went with that, we don't need to get into it, but the whole point of this is saying that, like, for the last, like, week or two, watching the African American community come out and just say the most beautiful things about people with red hair and freckles. It has been, I'm trying not to cry, guys, because like it has been so healing on so many different levels. And I guess what I'm trying to say to you is that all that difficulty and all that shit that I went through with Saturn here moving into Aries, right? I'm referencing, it's been wild. I've been referencing back lately to bullying because a lot of bullying things have been coming up. And so it's been referencing back to my childhood and seeing these things. And with Aries here, I'm also an Aries sun. Okay. So like, this Aries influence of like the things that were done to me and how maybe I healed through that, how I persevered. So it's a miracle that I'm here, you guys, between the bullying, the other trauma that I experienced when I was a kid. And so I just want to, the Black community is so unbelievably beautiful. And I just, listen, if This has been so fucking beautiful and so healing. So I just want to say to the Black community, just thank you. Thank you for accepting us, and thank you for seeing all of us and how beautiful we are and how different we are. And the rough things that a lot of us had to grow up with. Because it's very difficult on one end being what everyone hates, you know, being the ugly, terrible thing, and then turning randomly into like what's desired. Like, it was the most bizarre. Okay. So just seeing, you know, the terrible things that we went through and inviting us to the cookout, like, just thank you from my heart and soul. Thank you from my heart and soul. Okay. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And also, don't be afraid of these themes coming up for you too, where it's like, I'm referencing back to the past and how did I endure something? And with Aries being there, some kind of original OG hurt. Maybe there was bullying as a part of this, you know, because one of the things with Aries is like, they love to take care of the underdog and protect the underdog. So, but sometimes here you get a nasty, terrible Aries, and that energy, that Mars energy, can absolutely be a fucking bully, does not understand boundaries, and won't fucking stop. So it's interesting if maybe you guys are having that same experience. Let me know in the comments below. Are you guys experiencing the same fucking things? You know, and so as Saturn is moving into Aries, don't be surprised when we're referencing the past and the difficult things that we've been through. How the fuck did we survive this? How the fuck did we come through this? And maybe also to honoring that difficulty of that time period. What did I learn from that? And how can I take that information now and build something here that truly aligns with me, who the fuck I am, and what the fuck I'm about now? This is gorgeous. And so this is all, you know, I just think, you know, with the Black community being involved and saying how beautiful we are, bringing up that old hurt. And it's just like, okay, I also had to heal this. I had to face this, you know? So just reminding you guys, don't be afraid of the difficult stuff coming up. You are beautiful just the way that you fucking are. Okay. And a gentle reminder that you motherfucking got this, and that this week is going to be a good one. Okay. So work with this Gemini energy, connect, communicate, talk to people. Don't be surprised when those themes are coming up, back from home, back from childhood, siblings, we're talking to them, cousins, maybe even people from like maybe where we grew up, you know, where we grew up at, you know, things coming back from the past. And then on Saturday with Saturn moving into Aries, we can already feel the energy. And so maybe what old hurts are coming up that maybe we're ready to, what did we learn from that? And how do I build on that, what I've learned, to better understand me and align with me and where the fuck I am going? Gorgeous. We got this, okay? All right. So let's move on to the next. I'm going to pull you guys each a card. Choose 1, 2, or 3. I don't fucking care. You're going to get read for filth, and I love you. Okay? I hope you guys dig that. I hope what I said made sense. And I just love you guys. Feel free to share below whether your card made sense, whether you're going through the same things. I just love you guys, and I'll see you out there, okay? All right, follow me in the next. I'll see you in a second. Hi, card pile number 1. You guys got a great card. You guys got the 9 of Wands. Let's fucking talk about it. Who-de fucking who? I love this deck. Everybody's naked. Where's your clothes, babe? Right? But I think it speaks about the vulnerability here. It's being asked of us with this card. Now, with that being said, Wands, whenever they show up, guys, this is fire, okay? So fire energy always asks us, what are we manifesting, right? Like, honestly, like, are we paying the fuck attention? You know, also, too, fire asks us to take action. I also find that fire is very spirit-led and spirit-fed. So I do feel like spirit's involved whenever fire is here. So spirit might be calling us to do something. We're getting a call to take action on that, okay? Also, too, here with the 9, I'm looking at 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 years. Wands moves the quickest. So I want to say maybe around the 9th of a month, or 9 days to 9 weeks. I also like to reference these like the months. So there might be a call back to the month of September, or these themes that we talk about here today might find a full combination by September, okay? Maybe just September's in here some way, somehow, all right? Also, too, man, when the 9 of Wands comes up, baby, this is keeping your boundaries up strong, okay? This is a card of success, All right, this is a card of success. And so this is also a card of like, please don't give up, okay? Can't stop, won't stop. All right? When we get the Nine of Wands, it's what it usually says to me. So it's kind of just saying like, there's going to be one more obstacle or one more fight here. I know we're tired. Hold on tight. Put on a fresh pair of undies. Let's fucking do this. Okay, you farted through your last ones. There was a lot going on. Let's get a fresh pair here and let's get ready for this last fight. We got this. This is also something to like, stand your fucking ground, babe. So I love this card, the Nine of Wands, whenever it shows up, because it's just kind of telling you maybe like, sit still for a second, stand strong in what the fuck you're doing. Hold up them boundaries strong, babe. Don't give up here. You will find success. We just got like one more obstacle, one more thing to go through, and we're almost fucking there. We got this. What we need to watch out for is burnout, straight up. And with Saturn moving into Aries, and I'll talk more about this next week, we need to worry about burnout with that too. For real. Okay? So with that being said, if you already have problems with burnout, you need to be prepared. Okay? We need to get it together, babe. And that's including myself. Now, if we were looking for a yes or no this week, this to me would be a yes, okay? And again, this is about standing your ground, make it like, I know what the fuck is right. I'm not giving up on something here that I've been manifesting and working towards. I literally feel called by spirit to do this fucking thing. Can't stop, won't stop. Are you gonna mess with that? I'm not gonna mess with that. She's naked. Like, girl, put some clothes on before, right? Before we fucking fight. Anyway, it reminds me of the lady in Oregon years ago, like in 2020, when all the protests were happening, that naked lady that came out and everybody was like, nope. Like, she shut it down. I really mean it. She walked out when the cops and the people were fighting and she walked out in the middle and just was naked as a jaybird. Everybody was like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You know, I'm not saying you have to get naked. I'm just saying. There might be something here where if you get mad at somebody, you do that old school thing. I think this was like back in the day. Women would get mad and like flash a boob. Although the current day people would probably enjoy that. So maybe we're just going to cancel all that out. Okay? Don't do any of those things. All right. Can we return to the days where just flash somebody in anger, be like, fuck you. What? Right? I think that's great. Anyways, I'm very much for that. Right? I mean it. Ugh. Okay, Sarah, back to the card. Now, we're looking around love and relationships with the Nine of Wands. Oh man, this just feels like maybe this week with a lot of you guys, maybe we're standing our ground on something that we said to somebody or that we're having to deal with somebody. Maybe also too with Wands here, we might be dealing with an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or somebody with a lot of fire in their chart. Maybe here we're dealing with somebody that doesn't understand boundaries and is a boundary stepper. Listen, fire energy is notorious for doing that. If they're not healed, if they're not paying attention to their shit, they don't give a fuck about your boundaries. You could say no all you want. They don't give a shit. They're going to two-step over those fucking boundaries, okay? And they're going to make you feel like a dummy for even saying no. Like, just... And so if we're dealing with some of that difficult energy this week, just remember, like, stand your fucking ground, okay? Maybe also, too, here for some of you guys, you're not willing to give up on a relationship. And I would say that would definitely be a feeling here if you're wondering what somebody else is feeling about this. Somebody here doesn't want to give up. Okay, so maybe if we're like not talking to somebody, or maybe there's been a period of like, what the fuck, just know that this other person doesn't want to give up, but I feel like nobody's budging here. Okay, so maybe we need to have a conversation. That would be important. Remember, the Nine of Wands comes after the Eight of Wands, which talks about communication. So don't be afraid to communicate. Maybe reach out and see if we can do a peace offering, a peace treaty. That would be nice. What else with the Nine of Wands? I would say also here too, this might even feel like, maybe this is more around family and friends. It kind of feels like we're defending home this week. I don't know how to explain that. It just feels as though we're defending home. We're defending maybe some kind of feeling here around home and childhood. Maybe even for some of you guys this week, we're dealing with somebody that doesn't want to face, okay, anything. And so if we're dealing with that difficult energy where we're trying to talk to somebody, we're trying to communicate, and somebody here's just got their walls up, give them the space and time. They will come to you when the fuck they are ready. Do you fucking hear me? Have you ever tried to pin down an Aries, a Leo, a Sag, and get them to talk about something when they don't want to? If you thought Pisces was slippery because they're the fish, well, I'd like to introduce you to fire. I would like to introduce you to fire because woo, everything but therapy. Everything. Literally. So, we might be dealing with some difficult people this week that don't want to face themselves, that have got their barriers up. And so if this is more like we're dealing with somebody with their barriers up, give them time, give them space, and let them know that maybe if you do still want to talk to this person, lines of communication are open. And come talk to me whenever you're ready. But I do feel like for some of you guys, we've got boundaries up around family, friends, maybe some people that, you know, where love is involved. And I feel like you guys should stay strong on that. Do you fucking hear me? Especially if we got any issues of abuse or somebody treated us badly. I think it's important to remember what happened here within the situation. Okay. And so, like, is welcoming this person back a good idea? Would I disrespect myself more? Something to consider, okay? But I think over the most part within relationships, and you got to know where you're at within your relationships right now. So maybe if there's been a bit of a fight, okay, but normally we're good, but there's been a bit of a fight, maybe we're not talking right now, hold strong because I feel like somebody here doesn't want to give up. I don't feel like you want to give up. And so maybe just putting out an opportunity, pushing out in the middle of the table, scooching to the middle of the table. When you're ready to talk, I'm here. I'm ready to talk to you. And let's see what the fuck happens. Okay. But other than that, like if there's an abuse situation or someone is not welcome back in, baby, stand fucking strong. 10 toes down. Do you fucking hear me? Okay. Okay. Now, if we're looking around work and career, some of you guys are deciding to stay at a place. Maybe we don't want to give up, or we feel like there might be a little bit of something left here for me to get out of this, or for this thing to help me. Maybe again, we just got like this one more obstacle that we need to overcome before we get to that victory. Okay. And so within work here, can't stop, won't stop. Don't fucking give up. Keep going for something here. Okay. Please don't give up, especially if this is a project or you want to lead something up, or there's an important, maybe even, I feel like for some of you guys at work too, there's an important boundary that we need to draw with somebody. And so maybe this might even be up to a couple people, but I feel like for most of you guys, there's like one person at work that we need to set a boundary with. Somebody here is a fucking habitual boundary stepper, and they need to be put in their fucking place. That's just what the fuck it feels like to me. Okay, so if that resonates, make sure that we're reaching out to HR, we're reaching out to the boss, we're figuring out a strategy here, because this will not fucking do. You're not going to overstep my boundaries. Maybe also too, somebody here took somebody's, normally this would not speak for this, but I don't know why this is coming up. But maybe there's a question mark of somebody stealing someone's intellectual property. Okay. So if that is the jam, make sure that we've got or at work this week. Make sure that we're putting up boundaries around stuff that we're working on. So if we don't want other people to know, keep it safe, keep it protected, keep it the fuck out of the eyes of people that would throw daggers and darts and not be helpful. Fuck that noise. I also want to say too, I do feel like maybe if some of you guys are especially trying to work towards like a group project of some kind, again, please don't give up. We've got one more obstacle here. I do feel like some of you guys are going to get the grant or the money. Oh shit, I dropped the card. Or, or there's something here that comes through. So again, please don't give up. I feel like you've got something here in the work sphere. Continue to hold on to this and defend this thing. Keep your intellectual property and what you're doing within your work sphere quiet this week. Only share it with the people, places, and spaces that respect you and will support your fire, your energy, maybe even help you defend something here. But I would just be careful this week around work with some of the people. Okay, just especially if we've got a boundary stepper here, nip this fucking shit in the bud. Okay. And I would say here by September, that shit should be settled. It should be good to go. No later than September. This can happen before September. No later than September. Okay. Everything gets worked out here and it feels good to me, but you've got to take action on this. That's the thing when fire shows up. You can't wait for another person. You can't wait for somebody to be like, oh, poor you. I'm so sorry. This is that. You've got to stand up and say something because nobody else is going to do it. So if you're waiting for somebody to come and rescue you, this ain't it, babe. This would be an excellent card if you're looking to build your own business and it's been really difficult. Please hold on. I do feel like it's going to be successful and be rocking and rolling soon. Don't give up. This would also be an excellent card if we wanted to be like a personal trainer. If we, like in terms of work and career, if we wanted to help maybe even rehabilitate people here in some type of way, helping people to not give up in some type of way, this would be really good for like physical therapy, being a personal trainer, really helping people to get back on their feet, if if you will, maybe after a really difficult period or time or like accident or something, okay? And so like they have to overcome an obstacle. So helping people overcoming obstacles in some type of way with the work that we do. This can even be just like critical thinking and bringing that skill to the work that we're doing, helping people find solutions within something, project management. This can even just talk about like, again, trying to build something important within the work sphere, group project, things we're doing with others. Hold the fuck on tight, okay? Again, we're gonna be successful, but this is about maybe defending and protecting the things that are really near and dear to our heart. We've manifested this, okay? Now, if we're looking around health and healing, I would say with the Nine of Wands here, this would be an excellent time frame to start exercising. I know, again, it's fire and like water's not involved, but I just feel like some of y'all need to start swimming, or swimming is an excellent way to exercise, okay? Blood, sweat, or tears here, okay, around health. Also, too, anytime fire comes up, I'm going to beg you guys where this resonates for. If you are still smoking cigarettes, what the fuck are you doing? Please focus on quitting here and don't give up. You've got one more obstacle or one more issue with this and we will get over it. This is also excellent for anybody that's trying to go like into rehabilitation, trying to go into rehab in some type of way. Like, don't give up. You are almost fucking there. So like, there's just a feeling here of please don't give up around our health this week either. We might be having some issues with heat here, maybe around like, maybe overheating in the body. Maybe we're getting hot flashes for some of you guys. This also makes us combative, okay? So for a lot of people going into peri and full-on menopause, maybe some of those themes are coming up this week. There might be something here about our hormones coming up as well too. The thyroid would be involved in that as well. I would also say for a lot of you guys, there might be an issue around the hair as well. So with the hair and the hair this week, please don't give up. I feel like there's one more thing we're going to try, or one more thing comes up here that really fucking works for us. But I do feel like it's combined with other things, okay? So just saying, do not give up around your health. You will find success. We just got one more battle, one more thing we need to push for. A lot of you guys might even be pushing for surgery coming up too, okay? And so maybe this is getting the authorization from insurance. Maybe this is talking with the right doctor and just making sure the right people, places, and spaces are in place. You motherfucking got this. Now on the wider world end, with the Nine of Wands, there might be something about the military this week that we're hearing about, okay? Maybe there's some kind of protest that's going on that is long-standing that people aren't giving up. There's going to be some interesting shit coming up this week and it's going to be a little fiery. All right. So pay attention, help where the fuck you can, protest when you can, do what the fuck you can. Do not let this shit go by idly. Please don't. Stand up and speak, protest, do whatever the fuck you got to do. All right. All right. All right, guys. I hope that made sense. Let me know. Middle fingers for no, call for yes. Ow. Hey, card pile number 2. Hot damn summer in the city. Y'all got a major arcana card talking about major change, major evolution, major movement forward. You guys got the Emperor. Hold on to your titties. Woo! So you guys this week, whenever the Emperor shows up in these major arcana cards, they talk about major change, major evolution, major movement forward. They're talking about a huge important thing in our life that's coming up. Like, it's a crossroads moment. And so traditionally, the Lover stands for the crossroads. But I find that all the major arcana here come to a crossroads. It's asking us to be present, sit down. You got a choice in front of you. And so which way are you choosing? What are you going to do? Are you consciously aware of what the fuck's going on so that you can make the best choice for you right here and right now? So when the Emperor comes up, this is a very fire energy card. Traditionally, this card stands for the sign of Aries, but I would take the Emperor to also stand for Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, any of the fire signs, okay? I would like to add in Scorpio as well because the old ruler of Scorpio is Mars. So somebody here, we might be dealing with somebody that is a Aries, Leo, Sag, or Scorpio this week. Now, traditionally, the Emperor is going to talk about a dude, a male, or masculine presenting, okay? When the Emperor shows up here, but listen, these cards they don't fucking care about gender. Just traditionally speaking, this is what it usually stands for. So with the Emperor standing here, this could possibly even talk about, you know, an important male here coming towards us this week, a fire sign energy, maybe even ruled by Mars, has a lot of fire in their chart. Traditionally, when the Emperor shows up, this is an authoritative figure. This is the ultimate king. There is no king above this guy. So this is the ultimate king here. He's he can be an authoritative kind of brick wall, or he can just be an authority here on a multitude of different subjects. This would be the connector, one of the connectors here. This is the guy that everybody knows, and he knows everybody. I would also say too, like with the Emperor, there might be a background in the military, police officer, firefighter, acts of bravery, acts of service, working for the government here in some way, shape, or form. And so this person here might have that background as well, or be considering those jobs, or maybe do those jobs, okay? The Emperor, though, again, just really stands for somebody who's an authoritative figure. A lot of times it's going to even talk about a father figure and some father energy stuff that's coming through for us too, okay? But again, this guy is like, he's the head of his home. He can be a little traditional, patriarchal in the sense, okay? But again, I think for the most part, it's just wanting the ease for the people that we're looking out for. I'll take care of the heavy, ugly stuff. Again, it's just kind of a patriarchal mind view, but I don't, in a positive sense, this isn't nasty or funky or trying to put you in your place, okay? I think that there's just a certain set of rules that they grew up with, and this is what they like, and this is what the fuck they know. So if you're into that, fuck yeah. If not, tell them to fuck off. Okay? But they protect their family, they protect their home, they protect their people. In the positive sense, this is somebody that stands up for the underdog. This is also a mentor in a type of way because they've been through so much in their fucking life. Believe me, the Emperor has some fucking stories to tell, okay? So it's just, there's an important male figure here, usually our age or older, that's showing up on the scene to kind of maybe guide us in a way, mentor us in a way, maybe even father us in a type of way, or stand in for that position for a minute to maybe help or heal us, protect us, guide us. This is good shit for the most part, okay? Now, if this is more about the energy we got to take on, the Emperor's asking you to be the fucking leader. What the fuck are you doing standing back and letting other people lead? You are being called to be a leader. Stand the fuck up, babe. So now is your time to stand in a position of power and do what the fuck you got to do. Take action. All right. Now, if we're looking for a yes or no this week, to me, this would be a yes, especially if you're ready to take action and be a leader. Yes, babe. Or maybe we're dealing with an important father figure, or we're dealing with an important male here that is protective, loving, supportive of us, is maybe trying to get us fired up to do something, maybe mentoring us in some type of way. Okay. Now, if we're looking around love and relationships, for some of you guys, maybe you guys have felt like you have met the fucking one. This feels like a match. So like maybe if you dig dudes, okay? So a king to your queen, or a king to your king, okay? Or a they to your they. All right? But there's a sense of royalty here whenever we're dealing with either the sign of Leo. I would actually say Aries too. They both kind of rule. Leo rules the hair. Aries rules the head. And also by proxy, hair comes through on that too. Okay. So the Emperor here is going to talk about feeling like I finally met my match, like my person showed the fuck up in the love sense, okay? And so it just feels as though like, oh my God, I finally found the person. It's a good, maybe also too, like maybe you are more feminine and you're looking for a more masculine person to show up here. Again, it just feels like we've got this balance of energies coming through and it just feels really good. I feel protected, I feel safe, I feel loved, I feel seen. And I feel like if anything happens in the world, this person's got my back, or they'll burn it to the ground if something happens to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay? Maybe for some of you guys this week too, for dealing with more friends and family, we might be dealing with an important father figure here. I don't know. I feel like for some of you guys, the father figure is starting to get up in age. And so there's something here about like asking him about his stories, talking to him about his life, gathering that information, gathering that good stories so that we can pass on this information, these lessons on to the next generation. This actually feels really fucking good to me, okay, in that sense. Some of you guys just might be dealing with father and father healing themes this week, and so maybe some difficult stuff is coming up. I wouldn't, and we'll talk more about that in health and healing, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's confidence issues tied to that too. We'll get to it, okay? So maybe we're just dealing with our confidence issues this week, and you're like, what? About all this, you know, guy, emperor bullshit. Babe, where the fuck do you think your confidence issues go back to? You're right, your dad. Or the father figure, or the caregiver here that was maybe of the masculine sense, possibly, okay? But a lot of us look towards father for confidence. We look towards mother for value in ourselves. We look towards father for the confidence to be seen and heard. So if we don't have a strong father figure there, or maybe an abusive father figure there, it can be really hard to understand or to know confidence within oneself. We didn't have a positive or a good kind of reference here, okay? Maybe for some of you guys, you did, and you're still referencing back to it, and you're like, thank God. You know, so just knowing who that father figure was and what makes sense for you here, just know this week when the Emperor shows up around love and relationships, it's asking you to take the lead. It's asking you to take action here in some type of way. So if we got a feeling for somebody, or maybe we want to heal something, or maybe we want to show somebody or guide somebody, or maybe we're noticing something and we just want to help, like this would be a great sign this week to stand up and say something and be the leader that you're being called to be. Extra points if you're an oldest daughter and you feel like you are your father's firstborn son. Okay. So there might also be some themes coming through with that this week too. Maybe some of us, maybe the more feminine of us, you know, this week are kind of feeling like maybe I'm ready to start getting more into my feminine side. Maybe noticing like this week about like how I've had to be in a more, and I'm careful with these words, okay? I'm careful with these words because I feel like you can be any gender, anything. It's a beautiful thing. But like maybe just feeling lately like I'm ready to start getting into the more feminine side, relaxing, so that I don't have to always be in this masculine energy, if you will. Always taking action, always doing these things. Like, because listen, you could be in female energy and take action, okay? But at least with these cards, some of those themes might be coming up this week. Sorry, there's like stuff floating in the air. I'm not just like, ow, seeing things. I mean, I'm a psychic medium, I do, but like, that was just fuzz this time. With that being said, I would just say around love and relationships this week, take the lead, or if somebody's taking the lead here, maybe just vet this person, make sure that their actions and words align, make sure that they've actually lived a little bit so that the advice that they're giving is actually decent and good. That would be nice, okay? And also too, if we're dealing with a father figure this week, we might be gathering those stories, supporting this father figure, showing up for him in some type of way, maybe even honoring him. It might be his birthday, maybe an anniversary, maybe he's retiring. There's something going on here. We might be honoring some of the elderly or older males within our family here, okay? This feels good though. All right, if we're looking around work and career, listen, some of you all just got to work for yourself. Straight the fuck up. All right, so I see the fire and the earth signs as like the natural business owners here in the tarot. Okay, whenever it comes up, you can be any sign and own a business. Do you fucking hear me? But for the most part, when fire and earth shows up, it's going to talk about owning your own business to me personally. So there might be a call here for some of you guys. This is a yes. Fucking own your business. It's time for you to be in the leadership position. And so some of you guys might be going for power positions this week, going for promotions. You're going to be getting yeses. And it's because of the work that you've fucking done. And you're showing that you are a leader in some type of way. So leadership positions are coming up this week. We might also be dealing with the leaders and the leadership this week as well too. This mostly feels positive to me, especially with the Emperor showing up here in the upright position. Okay. So it feels like maybe we've got good leaders here this week that we can look towards, or maybe we're looking for the good leaders this week. Who the fuck is a good one? Who would I like to emulate? Maybe for some of you guys, you're looking towards a mentor, an important masculine here, possibly within the work sphere, that we're looking to be, maybe this person, we'd like them to be our mentor. So going towards them, learning with them, getting some kind of guidance from them. This would be a great week to find a good mentor within the work that you do. He or they should be popping up, okay? So this would be the person at the top of their game that has been in this a long time and is able to pass on some good information here that's going to help us grow. This is good shit, okay? If that doesn't make sense, this is about you taking that power position, either owning your own business or standing up and asking for that position or the promotion. You fucking deserve it, period, if you got this card pile number 2. Card pull number 2. Now, if we're looking around health and healing, yeah, some of you guys this week might be dealing with an important father figure that is getting older. Yes, I do feel like this would be a good time to get a hold of those stories. This would also be good to know the father side of the family. I feel like for some of you guys, especially around ancestry and health, and so knowing maybe some of the things that are passed down within the family, make sure that we're looking that up this week so we know everything that possibly could happen within our health. Especially if some of you guys are thinking about having kids. Okay, so it just kind of feels like maybe we need to know the father's sign, or maybe the father's sign, okay? But also his side for the health issues and stuff coming through. Maybe some of you guys are having health issues and it's predominantly on your father's side. Okay, so there's some important stuff. Also, too, I feel, listen, I had like 3 or 4 dads pop up here, father figures show up, and I do feel like there's something here around the health, maybe dying difficult. The death was difficult or dying in a difficult way. The health was not taken care of for at least 1 to 2 of these dudes. They were fucking drinkers, okay? So, I mean, they just keep saying it. So I do feel like for some of you guys, like, we need to look at our drinking habits. We need to look at our eating habits. How are we taking care of our health? Are we following in the footsteps of dad? Do we need to do that? We're an important male figure within the family. Do we really need to do that? Do you really want to die that way? Okay? I would feel like for most of you guys, that would be a no. So if that's a no, take care of your fucking health and don't repeat the pattern of father or an important male here within the family. Please and thank you. Okay? Doesn't even necessarily have to be family. This could even be somebody you looked up to, a friend, whatever. Your health is your wealth. I also want to say here too with the Emperor, this is saying you're going to have to take action on your health. So this is speaking to your doctors, finding the right group of people, finding somebody here that matches your energy around your health and actually wants to fucking help you. Okay. But I do feel like this is going to be very you-led around your health right now. So either researching things, taking action, calling people, getting things done. Do not sit on this. And I'd be willing to put money that some of these father figures that came through, we weren't doing that. We weren't doing that. So again, take action here. Take control of your health. You are the one in charge. If you would like to have the most time possible, go to the doctor. Okay. Also too, anytime fire shows up, I'm going to tell anybody that's smoking cigarettes, please stop. Please stop. Okay. Okay. This would also be an excellent time to start exercising, taking good care of your body, sweating it the fuck out. This would be an excellent time. Okay. I just feel like, oh God, did I even tell you guys the time frame on this? It also stands for the number 4. Holy shit. I should have said that in the beginning. Stands for the number 4. So the Emperor here, I would actually reference back to the month of April. Cause I read these like the months. Okay. So this can also talk about 4 weeks, 4 days, 4 years, but because it's fire, I want to reference back to April. So did something come up here around your health, around any of those themes that we talked about? Okay. Pay attention. Last thing I want to talk about is like maybe the wider world here, what we're going to see with the Emperor. We're going to see a lot of stuff about our leaders here, obviously within the next couple weeks, and who they are and what they're about. Is the Emperor wearing any clothes? Okay. We're looking at our leaders this week, and especially military leaders. Okay. So unfortunately, this might talk about maybe some war, some military stuff coming up. No, I don't think anybody's surprised by that. Okay. But also too, with the Emperor here, we're looking at our leaders. Are they efficient? Are they good? Do they give a fuck about us? Are they looking out for the underdog? Because it feels like a lot of our leaders now are not. They're actually going after the underdog. So in what ways this week can we protect the underdog, look out for them, and make sure that they know that we're not going to let these motherfuckers touch them to the best of our ability. Okay. Guys, for anything else this week, when the Emperor shows up, time to take the bull by the balls. I don't know what the fuck the thing is with that. Hey, bull by the horns? Probably should have said the horns. Hope you're ready to take them by both. That's just weird. All right, anyways. But this week, it's in your hands. You got this. Take action. And remember, fucking punch motherfuckers in the throat. If they won't let you do your thing, I'm kidding. No violence, okay? To the best of your ability. But take action. Be the leader that you're being called to be. You motherfucking got this. And finally, card number 3. I'm so used to saying pile. Card number 3. I was like, ooh, glitch out. Hey, you guys got a very interesting card. Let's fucking talk about it. You guys got the 10 of Wands. She looks tired. She looks tired. So let's talk about it. Again, guys, we had if you pulled any of the piles, it was all fire this week. Wild. Because we went from Earth season, Taurus season, into air season, Gemini season this week. So why all this fire? Hot damn. I do think, and I said in the other 2 piles too, that like I do feel like there's going to be some military stuff coming up this week. So just a heads up, okay? There's going to be stuff around our leaders and the leaders of the world, who they are, what they're about. And then also too, I feel like there's going to be some talk around military, possible war. What the fuck are we doing? Okay. Oh, we'll get to it. All right. With that being said, with Wands showing up here, guys, we know this is how the fuck we manifest when fire shows up, and it's asking us, like, what are we manifesting? Are you ready to take action? Because when fire shows up, it demands that. I also find that fire is very spirit-led, spirit-fed. So I just feel like spirit's calling us here towards something. We got to take action. Are you ready to do that fucking thing? All right. With the number 10 here, this is going to talk about 10 days, 10 years, 10 farts, 10 fucking buckets of gold. All right. Wands, I wish 10 buckets of gold. God bless. All right. Wands here moves the quickest. So I'm looking at days to weeks, but I also reference the months. Okay. So with the number 10 here, I'm going to reference back to the month of October, or maybe these themes come to a full culmination by the month of October, no later. It can happen before October. Okay. But no later than October. Now, the 10 of Wands is a hard card, man. This is exhaustion. This is burnout. I need to warn you about that. So a lot of you guys are probably feeling that right now. This is burnout. This is exhaustion. Sometimes this can even talk about betrayal, all right, with the 10 of Wands. Feeling like I got betrayed. Like, because look, she's the only one carrying that stack of shit. Okay? So I just feel like here with the 10 of Wands, like, this is also about building something. And remember, this comes off the heels of the 9 of Wands. You know, which is like, can't stop, won't stop, don't give up, holding up the boundaries and waiting for that victory. And so with the 10 of Wands here, we're running the risk of exhaustion. We're kind of all by ourselves in this, it feels like, when this card comes up. And so one of my advice things is to make sure that we're delegating, we're asking for fucking help. A lot of times we'll get in more into that in health, but there is a root core around our childhood and not feeling like anybody showed up, or they could be depended upon. And so at this point in our lives, we're so used to that bullshit that we just do it all ourselves. Insanity. Because for what you're trying to build and what you're trying to do, you're supposed to be a part of a team, darling. Okay? This is not just supposed to be all on you. So make sure that you're not doing that thing when this card shows up. Make sure you're talking to other people, getting that help, getting the support from people that you know have shown you with their actions that they can, they will, and they do show up. So be wise about who we're going towards too, okay? Don't keep going to the same old dumb bubblegum that tells you yes, and then last second, you can't get a hold of them, okay? Know who the fuck you're working with. I also think too, with the 10 of Wands, this can talk about success. Like, we're building something serious here. Traditionally, usually Saturn's somewhere around in this card with 10 of Wands. And so there's some kind of difficulty here that we got to go through. But again, it's kind of showing us like slow but steady wins the race. And when fire is in the mix, that is the opposite thing of what we want to do. And so we might just be pushing ourselves too hard when really slow but steady is being asked for here. So on top of needing to delegate, we also need to check our pace because we're going too fucking hard. Okay. How did you burn the candle at 84 ends? I didn't even know it had that many. I'm not mad. I'm kind of impressed. Okay. But we got to take a fucking chill pill. So if we were looking for a yes or no this week, to me, this would be a no. We've already got too much on our plate. So I think we need to take a break, and I think we need to delegate, or we need to figure out what the fuck we're doing and what actually makes sense around, like, what do we have the energy for? And I feel like for some of you guys, what do we have the spoons for? Okay. Let's get into love and relationships, because who doggy, some of y'all just feel like this is a fucking burden. Some of y'all just feel like this is a burden, that you are by yourself in this. Some of you guys might be like literally taking care of everything, and especially at home all by yourself. Feels like maybe you're working, you're taking care of the house. We're not having, even if we do have a partner, it feels like we don't fucking have one. So a lot of you guys might be a single mother, single father, feeling single, you know, or like single parent kind of feeling to this too. It just feels like we're handling everything on our own. You deserve a partner. Okay. And so where is our partner right now? Are they showing up? Are you able to delegate and ask them for help? That's it. When you're trying to build something, you need that backup and support. This is wild, y'all. So I think building something at a slower pace, asking for help, you know, around relationships here, and or there might be something going on within the relationship where it feels like it's moving too fast for somebody. Okay, so slow the fuck down. We know that we're trying to build something here in the future, right? We're trying to build towards something, but we do this together. So if you're all by your itty bitty, we got to stop for a second and reassess that's in friendship, love, farting, family. It doesn't matter. Okay. So whatever the fuck this thing is, we should be doing this together. Are we doing it together? If that's a no, we need to sit down, reassess what the fuck we're doing. We need to have an important conversation, and we need to take action around that, okay? If that's a yes, we feel like we do have a partner. Baby, you're taking on too much. Delegate some of this, please. Can you trust your partner? If that's a yes, please do so. If that's a no, what are you doing? How are you building with somebody that doesn't want to build? We need to consider that this week, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to scare you, but we need to consider that. Like, what are we building? What are we doing? And do I actually have a partner that's going to help me do that? Now, for some of you guys, maybe some of the difficulty right now, maybe one of the last things that you feel is like that would fit the puzzle together would be a partner. Okay. Maybe partners and partnerships have been incredibly difficult for you. And it just feels like it's been nothing but me taking care of somebody, or do you know what I'm saying? Instead of having a partner. What did we learn from that? Those previous relationships, and that relationships don't have to be that kind of struggle. And so what kind of healing maybe do we need to do here? You know, around relationships, what we grew up with, what the fuck we saw. Did we learn from childhood that relationships were nothing but fucking ridiculous hard work? Blood, sweat, and tears with no reciprocity? We've got to change that story. Because it's rolling around in the back of your head, and we'll talk more about that in health. But like, this is an important thing to face this week with such a difficult card in terms of burnout, not feeling like I got the support, like this is too much, I'm overwhelmed, and like I've got so much to do. Take back the power is what I'm saying this week around your relationships. And so if we feel like we don't have that partner, start the healing process. And maybe that's a part of this too. Like, we're afraid of it. It feels like it's overwhelming. I don't even know where to start. Go into the therapy and tell them that. And you guys navigate it together. Okay? So, and we'll get more into that in the health, but I just feel like around friendship, love, family, all of that stuff this week. Make sure that we're working with good partners that are helping us build whatever the fuck we're trying to manifest. And if we're working with people that aren't doing that, we need to reassess the relationship and what we're doing here. Or if we feel like all we need is that last missing puzzle piece of a partner, we need to sit down and do the work in order to be prepared for that. Okay? I think that's important. All right, let's look around work and career. Ow! Again, just feels like I'm doing everything by myself. Some of y'all, your work here is like having you travel again back into the city. Oh, this is bullshit. So if some of you guys were working from home, it feels like some of you guys have had to go back, and it has been an extra fucking burden. This is bullshit. So I do feel like as though maybe we're figuring that out. It feels like look, it also looks like this person's moving out of the city and trying to build something somewhere, okay? So I do feel like, too, for a lot of you guys around work and career, Wands and Earth are my two signs here that talk about, like, owning our own business. So maybe you're tired of working for other people, working yourself for the bone, and maybe you're ready to work for yourself. Congratulations. I mean it. You will never look back, and I really fucking mean that, okay? It's excellent when that happens. I also feel like the 10 of Wands here, too, around work and career, if you are at a job and we feel kind of stuck there, again, it just feels like they're using the shit out of you. You're doing like 10 people's job. This is insane. And they're not paying you for it. This doesn't work. You see how angry this is making me? This is a no. Okay. So we need to know our value so that people don't take advantage of us. Okay. There's some kind of healing that we need to see, we need to face. Maybe for a lot of you guys, and again, this would go in health part 2. But like maybe growing up, we always had to be available. We were always the one that helped. This is how we made ourselves indispensable so that people didn't discard us or we didn't feel like we got left behind. Baby, you don't have to do this anymore. You don't have to do this anymore around your work because you're working yourself to death. And this job will replace you tomorrow. No more. Stop giving up your sovereignty, your will, your energy, your happiness, your joy, your everything for a job that doesn't give a fuck about you. Also, too, Also too, the Ten of Wands. It just feels like here, I don't know, guys, for a lot of you guys around work, this just feels like, what are we actually working towards? Because this is insane. What is this? Because it's overwhelming. It's too fucking much. I think a lot of you guys this week, we need to start looking for a different job. Okay. So it's time to get those wands out there and start putting our feelers out, putting our resume into other places. You have to take action. Nobody's coming to save you, my darling, my love. So if you want to start your own business or you would like a different job, you've got to act on this. Do the fucking thing. Okay. Get to booty scooting this week. Instead of like picking out what I think we should be doing for work, let's just get into a better position or somewhere else that actually honors our time and energy. Or if you're thinking about starting your own business, start the work. Start the work on it. Get the paperwork, talk to somebody, take the class, talk to the bank, get just bit by bit. We're building it slow but steady. This is not rushing towards it. Take a deep fucking breath. Okay? Step by step, brick by brick, day by day. Now, for looking around health and healing, I think I said a lot of it. I think I said the most of it and most of the other card pulls here, okay, with the Ten of Wands. There is some healing here, okay? And I do feel like for a lot of you guys, this might be more around mama and mama healing because there's some value issues here. People taking advantage, you not being able to ask for help. And so not thinking that you've got the value or you've got the thing to like, do you know what I'm saying? So maybe also too, a stint of therapy, dealing with those things, going to maybe back to the childhood here and reassessing, how was mom around work too? Did she work herself to the motherfucking bone? We don't. We got choices, okay? We got choices. So what are those choices? How can I start to make them? How can I get out of this loop? Maybe what do I need to heal here? I just feel like this is overheating. So again, I just feel like a lot of you guys got to I really feel like in health and healing this week, you guys just got to take a break. You need a break. For most of you guys, take a fucking break, please. And maybe consider here getting with a good therapist that we can talk about our workaholic or our need to be everything to everybody, even at the expense of ourselves, and where that goes back to so we can heal that at the core. And we also value and honor our own life and our own energy. Maybe for some of you guys this week you are, and you're realizing you're exhausted and you're saying no to some things. I'm proud of you. That's a huge fucking deal. Okay. So all that to tell you, oh, you know what I also want to say around health and healing? I know this is a weird thing to put in here, but I feel like for some of you guys, especially if you've got some depression or we feel like we've got some kind of blockage here creatively, you just need to do it. A lot of times we'll take a break from doing something because we want it to be perfect or to look a certain way. You can perfect. That's what the editing thing is for, my darling, my love. Okay, maybe I should put this in career and work, but like you need to get back into the creative thing or you need to do the creative thing. And the reason why, and it's not the full reason why, but I think a good chunk of the depression right now or the sadness or feeling overwhelmed, because we're also not expressing the creativeness that is inside of us and we need that outlet. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself crazy and the people around you too. So stop this shit. Go and take a break from whatever you're doing right now and go get into the creative things so that you can feel better and get your energy back straight. You're welcome. You're welcome. Also too, I think I've said this with all the groups at this point. If you're smoking, please quit. Smoking cigarettes, please fucking quit when fire shows up. This is an excellent time to start exercising, but I would like you to do gentle exercises, please, this week, like Pilates, yoga, swimming, chill. No running, no marathons. Chill the fuck out, please. Take a fucking break and relax. Or if you guys have been working out too hard, give yourself 2 days off. Thank you. Don't side-eye me. You will reach your goal. This is slow but steady work, person. Do you hear me? Okay. Guys, on the macro level, on the world level, again, this week, I feel like there's going to be military stuff coming up. Oh, fuck. It just feels like we're gathering forces, or maybe we're seeing another country gather forces. There might be talks about military, the government, what we're doing around war, possibly here, maybe people preparing for that, people being stressed the fuck out. Okay. So just hold on. Themes of the military, themes of war, themes of government. Obviously, we're dealing with all that shit right now. It's going to be really heavy this week. Just stay aware, stay awake, and make sure that you're not giving into the fear. That's the biggest thing. Do you fucking hear me? Maybe also, too, another way to go against the bullshit, the Nazi bullshit and fuckery that's going on within our government, too, is to stay creative, because that's the number one thing they want to take away, especially with fear. Get back into your creative practices, because it's just a really good way to protest. It really fucking is. Okay? I love you guys. Let me know if that fucking resonated for you. All right? Middle fingers for no, cacao for yes. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your love, your support, for listening to anything I have to say. I adore you guys. And I hope you're having a beautiful week. I'm sending you all the fucking love, and I'll see you out there, okay? All right, bye.